The UEFA Champions League, the greatest club football competition in the world.
Cole back to Giggs, back to Cole!
They were 5 minutes away from the next stage, and then this happened.
Good cross came off Brown, it's gone in for an own goal!
But their fate is still in their own hands.
Manchester United within touching distance of a place in the quarter-finals.
Panathinaikos versus Manchester United live Wednesday 7:30 ITV.
Coronation Street will be back on Wednesday at 9:45 after the big match live, or at 7:30 on ITV2.
He scored!
If you haven't tried Charmin Ultra yet, you really must. You won't believe how good it feels. Only Charmin Ultra has such a unique, cushiony, soft surface to give you a comfortable, clean feeling every time. Lovely pattern. Wait till you feel it. Charmin Ultra. You won't believe it till you feel it.
This is such a rare treat.
What, tuna? Just kidding. It's great to have lunch with my wife.
I wish we could do this more often. Perhaps I could take early retirement.
What's brought this on?
Oh, I don't know. It's just being here with you. And them. That's my pager.
Keep your options open with flexible pensions and investments from Clerical Medical.
Prepare yourself for a powerful sensation. New Airwave Soothing Action Honey and Lemon flavour. One chew releases a powerful menthol action and instantly helps your throat feel soothed. And the sensational effect really lasts and lasts. Original Airwaves vapor release for your nose and new Soothing Action Honey and Lemon for your throat. Airwaves, fast acting, long lasting, sensational.
There's some things in life you just wouldn't want to repeat. Neither would we.
We never play the same song more than once. 105.4 Century FM, home of the no repeat workday.
No, I never meant to do you harm.
Jack Meadows is about to hear exactly what he wants to hear.
I want to make an allegation about a senior officer from this Nick, Superintendent Tom Chandler. What do I get for his head on a stick?
Guest starring Michael Elphig, The Bill, Tuesday at 8 on ITV.
Tomorrow at 9, a special edition of Crossroads to celebrate its return, the first 2 episodes shown back to back. Now from the region, the news.
Good evening from the Granada News Centre. First tonight, management at a meat wholesalers in Lancashire say they'll stick to selling British meat after discovering a piece of spinal cord in a consignment of imported beef. The firm in Blackpool had bought in beef from Holland due to the slaughter ban imposed because of the foot and mouth crisis. Under European rules, spinal cord should be removed because of worries over it carrying BSE. Robbie Oskowski reports.
Precautions to prevent the spread of foot and mouth disease have been fully implemented at RP Winder meat wholesalers since the government imposed a movement ban last week. The discovery of an 8-centimetre piece of spinal cord was made in a portion of beef imported from Holland. The Meat Hygiene Service immediately isolated the carcass, and it's now been condemned and destroyed. The firm had bought in meat from abroad because it was unable to slaughter British animals due to foot and mouth restrictions. Now it's been given a special licence to begin slaughtering again.
This is the first time we have tried importing any beef because we are sole supplier here. We slaughter from our own abattoir. Due to the foot and mouth outbreak, it was an action we took. We're not happy with it. Obviously, British is best, and we will be sticking to that in the future.
Meat wholesalers say under EC rules the spinal cord must be removed because it's thought to cause the greatest risk of spreading BSE.
More than 500 jobs are to go at a meat processing plant in Cheshire. The company says the closure of the site in Winsford isn't connected to the current foot and mouth crisis. And it's been a bleak day for jobs in the northwest. Another 200 are to go on Merseyside. They're at a glass factory in St Helens. Andy Gill reports.
Harris's bacon factory has been part of the Winsford economy for 20 years, but at the end of May production will stop here. Described as a factory with a family feel to it, it's the sheer scale of the job losses which amount to what one local politician describes as a devastating blow.
Well, if we look at the unemployment in Winsford at this moment, it's 495. So one can see that this, if all the employees came from Winsford, would over the double it. I'm sure all of them don't, but the vast majority do, and that is devastating for a town of this size.
The factory is owned by the food-producing giant Unigate, which took over recently. It's carried out an extensive review of its production facilities in the light of what it calls continuing competitiveness in the UK retail market. What that means is that the jobs here are victim of the increasingly bitter price war between Britain's major supermarkets. Think of the number of buy one, get one free offers that you see these days. It means the supermarkets' own margins are becoming tighter, and that in turn puts pressure on the profits of their suppliers, like Harris Quality Bacon. Also today, administrators at the Ravenhead Glass Company in St Helens, which makes glasses for pubs, say it'll close in 2 weeks unless a buyer's found. Ravenhead is owned by a Belgian company, and the MSF union say it's another example of it being cheaper to make UK workers redundant as opposed to those in Europe. The union's also concerned over whether money workers have paid into the pension fund will be repaid on retirement.
A woman police officer is in a serious condition in hospital tonight following a road accident. The PC was on duty when she was knocked down by a car this evening on Manchester Road in the Hollingwood area of Oldham. Police are investigating the incident. One man is in custody. A nursery school teacher has been found guilty of inflicting grievous bodily harm on a toddler in her care. 27-year-old Helen Lamb, seen here with the blonde hair, wept as the verdict was read out at Manchester Crown Court. The jury agreed unanimously that she'd broken the arm of a 20-month-old boy at Greenbank Nursery School in Cheadle-Hulme. She's been bailed until she's sentenced in 3 weeks' time. A Lancashire man who's spent the last 17 years of his life behind bars has been dramatically freed by the Court of Appeal in London. Peter Fell, a former soldier from Accrington, was jailed for the double murder of 2 women walking their dogs on a common in Hampshire. Leaving court, he told reporters that he was going to put the ordeal behind him. There are new fears that there's a link between high-voltage power cables and cancer in children. A couple from Greater Manchester have always believed that their son's death from leukemia was caused by radiation. Meanwhile, a report from a leading scientist, which comes out tomorrow, says there is a small but significant risk. Elaine Wilcox reports.
13-year-old Simon Studd, home from Little Lever in Bolton, died of leukemia in September 1992. His family home is close to 3 rows of overhead pylons and next door to an electricity substation. His parents believe the electricity caused him to develop cancer. After he died, they began legal action to try to force power companies to warn people about radiation levels, but there was no research to back up their case. Now a study is being published tomorrow in which a scientist reveals that children living near power lines run a small but significant risk of contracting leukemia. It's the first time an official link's been made. In a statement, the Electricity Association said the considerable body of evidence that has been accumulated over the last 2 decades clearly suggests that magnetic fields do not cause cancer or any other disease. If it is indeed the guidance of the National Radiological Protection Board that this is no longer the case, we would like the board to clarify what needs to be done as an industry.
Elaine Wilcox, our reporter there. A deadline set up by the authorities in Bangladesh for the release of an engineer from Greater Manchester has now expired. Tim Selby, who's from Oldham, was taken hostage along with 2 Danish colleagues almost a month ago. The 3 had been working on a road project in southeast Bangladesh. Their kidnappers were told they would receive immunity from prosecution if they released the men today. But so far there's been no sign of that happening. And finally, Chaddy the Owl, once dubbed the ugliest football mascot in the country, has had a facelift and won an award. The Oldham Athletic favourite clinched the mascot's challenge months after criticism from fans that he was scaring the kids. He put the cruel chance behind him and with a new head in fact, he won the trophy following a trial of wits with other mascots. Well done to him. That's the news from Granada this Monday evening. We're back in GMTV tomorrow morning from me and all of the late team. Do take care. Good night.
Granada weather.
That scorpion's tail of cloud in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen is moving towards us, and that's going to bring some rainfall to our region during tomorrow night. But it's been a lovely day across the region today. That's given us clear skies tonight. That means another widespread frost across the region. Maybe not as cold as last night. Temperatures down to -1 Celsius, and if anything tending to pick up a little bit by morning. Now tomorrow for sure there's going to be more cloud than today. That may just give a spit or spot of rain in the west of the region in the morning, but it will tend to flare up during tomorrow afternoon with 1 or 2 sunny intervals. So all in all, not a bad day, but it's going to feel cold tomorrow as a southeasterly wind freshens up. The top temperature 7 or 8 degrees Celsius. And then for the rest of the week, well, it's unsettled with showers or longer spells of rain, pretty windy at times, but becoming milder.
For a more detailed 5-day forecast, call Weather Update on 09068 559977.
Oh no, Michael's gone whoopies. And he's not the only one on the show who looks a little bit barking.
Cruella! Let's find the puppies!
Michael Barrymore's My Kind of Music, Friday at 8 on ITV.
Her friends are planning the hen night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm dreading it.
And the entertainment will be out of this world.
They have a naughty but very nice time.
There'll be plenty of surprises.
Phil's in for a treat. It's going to be a fun night.
Girls, do we want the full Monty?
And lots of laughs. Party Fever, Friday 10:30 on Granada.
The Reid brothers all grew up to be Royal Bank of Scotland customers. It suits Tom to bank here, whereas Dick prefers to bank here. And Harry? Well, Harry likes the benefits of banking here. The Royal Bank of Scotland, on the street, on the phone, online.
The Ford Focus, with control blade independent rear suspension. For extra stability, should the odd camera crew cross your path. Drive away a Focus from £10,460, including a 3-year warranty. Ford demands a closer look.
It's the boss. So what are you going to do? Let him score? Stand up to him. He'll respect you for it. But then, he is the boss. What the?
That's what you should have done!
But wait, there's still time.
Beware of the voices.
For career advice worth listening to and thousands of jobs, visit monster.co.uk.
At Tesco, we're determined to sell for less.
Excuse me.
Yes, madam.
I found this old till receipt, and I noticed that a lot of the things I bought last year actually cost less today. Look, that's 20p cheaper, that's 4p less, and there's 35p off these.
So we've cut even more prices on your favourite products to stay permanently low.
So how can I help? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? I don't want them at these prices.
You don't?
No, I want them at next year's prices.
Just as well we're already working on them. Tesco, every little helps.
Jack Meadows is about to hear exactly what he wants to hear.
I want to make an allegation about a senior officer from this nick, Superintendent Tom Chandler. What do I get for his head on a stick?
Guest starring Michael Elphig, The Bill, Tuesday at 8 on ITV.
Coming up, Champions League Weekly looks ahead to this week's matches. First, the pressure's building on the pop stars.